Good morning, everybody, and I hope you've had a good week. So today I'm going to be talking about my Porsche 935 KREMER. It is a Group 5 car, which these are late 1970s, early 80s race cars. And back in the day, these cars were fast, and they're actually still very fast. So these cars had to maintain their original body, but the manufacturers were allowed to go as wild as they wanted to get with the aero, and so these Group 5 cars are a result of that. So this is why they look the way they do. So this car is beautiful. I really like the blue color on this thing. I love the wheels. They are brilliant. You notice that they're two different sizes, whereas on the BMW, they're same size front to back. So just one of the many differences of these two cars. You look around here on this particular Porsche, these are the headlights down at the bottom here, sort of integrated with the splitter. And yeah, it is a good looking car. Now, one of the things I really like about these Group 5s is that they all have very substantial rear wings, which means they don't come off easily. All my modern GT cars, they've got all these slender posts, and as you can see, I'm having to hold them all down with sticky tack. And eventually, I suppose, when those uprights break, I'll have to be gluing or splicing and doing other things. So, from a learner's kind of car perspective, these Group 5s are very good because they've got no real delicate wings that, that will come off in the odd trip to the floor if you've got a table. So, yeah, I really like that, these solid wings. Obviously, I grew up as a young kid in the 80s, and, these were the sorts of things that were on TV when I was a boy, and just these things are very relatable for me. These are absolute monsters. So, yeah, visually, a very good looking car. So, what is different physically? So, I'll put them side by side here. Let me zoom out a little bit. So, if we put these wheel to wheel, you can see that this Porsche is far shorter than the BMW. And if I go guide to rear wheel, because a lot of people like that, then you can definitely see the difference there. The front wheel to the guide is something similar, but the rear wheel to the guide is a lot different. So, what else is different? Well, you might be able to tell visually, but I'll quickly measure. Got my handy ruler here. The width of the front is about 64 on the BMW and about 55, 56. So on the front end, the wheel spacing, the BMW is a lot wider, nearly 10 millimeters wider. On the back, the BMW is 64, so it's a nice square car. And on the back of the Porsche, I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's about 60. So the Porsche is wider at the back than at the front. And it's also narrower both at the front and the rear than the BMW. If you're looking at the wheels on the back of the car, the Porsche, it does have a larger diameter wheel, and it also has fatter tires. So how does this translate into driving? Well, I'm finding that The Porsche doesn't drift as easily on the back. It does grip more in corners, and that might be due to the magnets, which we'll check in a minute. But it's shorter wheelbase and fatter back tyres and narrower track. It will almost push to tip versus slide. So I'm finding it a little bit trickier to drive than the BMW. I'm more consistently on the track in the BMW versus the Porsche. But the Porsche, I think, might be a bit faster. I haven't checked the times yet, but it does grip very hard in the corners. It's just that when you get to the limit of that grip, rather than slide with the BMW, this one's popping out and rolling over, and I'm doing a lot more walking when I'm trying to push the Porsche closer to its edge. Having said that, its edge, I think, it does feel, I haven't checked the times, it does feel that the edge is further away. So for me, I mean, I like it as a beginner car just because there's less to break. On here, everything is more solid, but it's a little bit trickier to drive. Anyway, let's get to the mag weight table and see what the downforce is on this car in comparison to the BMW there. And I'll throw down some lap times and I'll show you the difference in times. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are. And I'll get my calibration car and put that on there. Need to get this, make sure the Lego's pressed down. So I know that this is calibrated at around 100 grams at the shop. But you know, Lego. So there we go. So this is around the shop value for this car. Just make sure I'm straight. Okay, so this is 100 grams. Now the BMW I think was at like 113, 114. Or maybe it wasn't. 125. Let's just recheck it on the calibration car. Yeah, that was me moving it around a bit. Alright, 100. The BMW. $117, $118. All right. Now the Porsche. Okay, let's bring those in. Okay, so there's no hiding that, even if it was a little bit off. I'll just go back. BMW. 118, 116, so still in the 1-teens. And this Porsche 130s to 140 something. So the Porsche has significantly more downforce. So let me get set up to put this on the track. We'll put some laps and some final thoughts together. Okay, let's put some laps on circuit Simon says, so you can see how it runs. Oops. See, I have a harder time driving this closer to the edge than the BMW. Oh, that was a big one. Alright, I'll call it a day there. I'm not having much luck. Okay, so, you know, that extra magnetic downforce helps. It does have a much faster time than my BMW over there, of half a second. But to do that, I think I'm getting just lucky. Consistent time-wise, a very consistent lap, this car runs right around 6.1, 6.2. So if I just chill myself down a little bit, this car's consistent pace is in line with the BMW's fastest pace. That may have a lot more to do with the magnets than the physical layout of the car, though. I do see that trend. Eventually, when I've run through a lot of my cars, I will show the magnetic downforce versus the lap times when I have all of that information recorded together. But it's a fast car. I like the design of it, and it's very durable because of the design of these Group 5 cars. So let me pull this out of the way and bring the car back. So, what do I think? I really like these Group 5 cars for the durability aspect. Finish and quality wise, they're equally, you know, they're equally just as good as the modern GT cars. Speed wise, yeah, this one is running faster. Now, whether that's all down to magnets or due to the differences in the car itself, I can't say. But it is faster, and if I just relax, it's consistently as fast. It's the fastest time I can get with the BMW. It's a nice car to drive, and but it's just a bit trickier, like I say. So I need to be warmed up a little bit to drive it. So from a beginner's point of view, they're more crash resistant and durable. Might be a bit trickier to drive. You could try removing a magnet and making it a little more slidey. That may help beginners, but yeah, all of these Group 5s, I'll bring in my other one here, nice big fat durable wing, and yeah, from that perspective they're just really good, and I just love the detailing, I love the colours, and the quality of finish. So do I recommend this car? Yes. I think, you know, if you've got any Group 5s or if you're just getting started, they're very good cars to have just because they're durable, and they look good. And hey, it's the 80s, and that was one of the best decades for motorsport. So there we go. I'll leave you guys with it. You guys have a great week, and until the next one, stay safe. Bye for now.